I lived in Washington, D.C. for over 30 years, but today is the first day that I have ever participated in the March for Life. And it's an honor and a privilege to be here today, and I bring you greetings from my new great state of Idaho. I had to go all the way across the country to come back. But in 1973, about 2 months after the passage of Roe v. Wade, I found myself pregnant. I was a senior in high school, 17, the oldest of 4 children from a fairly affluent family, and I had a huge problem. The father refused to believe the baby was his and completely turned his back on me. When I told my mother what was happening, there was no question of what was expected of me. I went to the local Planned Parenthood where they set an appointment for an abortion. No one counseled me. No one told me what was going to happen either in New Jersey or in New York where the abortion was performed. Ultimately, I found myself on the table in a small room with the nurse and the doctor. I was told there would be some cramping, but not much. Oh, really? It was extremely painful. At one point, I held my arm out to hold the nurse's hand, and she backed away from me with a look of disgust on her face. I don't remember much after that, except feeling alone and emotionally numb. Then the nightmares and recurring dreams started. As I began to feel again, it was remorse, guilt, shame, and a host of other feelings I didn't know I had, but I stuffed them. All of them. I was very good at stuffing. I found that even though abortion was legal and supposed to be okay, it really isn't okay. I was promiscuous, and my vulnerability was taken advantage of. I very seldom talked about it and was very careful who I talked about it to. As time went on, I realized I had problems with relationships in every facet of my life. I just didn't feel right. I had no idea what was wrong with me, what had caused those feelings or the promiscuity. And the nightmares continued. Due to having the abortion, I was not able to ever have children. I lost my second child due to an ectopic pregnancy. Finally, after 40 years of trying to figure out why I felt the way I did, it all came together when I was part of a healing group for women who had abortion in their past. I discovered I had suffered a huge trauma, and the way I felt was normal for someone like me. It was a great relief to have a safe place to tell my story and to work through the anger, grief, and shame, and to come out of the other side of mourning with dancing. I already knew I was forgiven by God, but it was the forgiving myself that through those wonderful women, I was finally able to do. And guess what? No more nightmares. I wasn't told that having a conscience, I would have to live with regret and the loss of my son Johnathan and my daughter Sarah for the rest of my life. The shame of getting pregnant is nothing compared to the shame of abortion and its consequences. It was a terrible secret to keep, one that didn't allow me to heal the entire time I kept it. That is why today I am silent no more.